Here are the do's and don'ts of marketing your SaaS company. Let's start with the things you should not do when marketing your SaaS product. Number one, for the love of God, don't use jargon, right? Don't use these very highfalutin words that sound very fancy that say nothing. I once sat through a customer presentation where I listened for 1 hour and I could not figure out what the company did for a living. I literally did not understand what problem they solve or what their product does. I had no clue. After an hour, it was an extremely painful hour that I will never get back in my life, right? Don't make your prospects suffer through that. So don't say things like, we are a best of breed provider that allows future innovators to use AI to optimize their efficiencies and provide scale and capabilities that are unparalleled in this particular leading edge marketplace, right? Blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Your prospects, your customers do not care about those words. Don't use them. That's number one. Number two, don't focus on the product. I know it's a little bit counterintuitive, right? Because you're in the SaaS business. You just spent your whole life building this incredible product. Nobody cares. They care what the product can do for them first. They're going to want to verify what your product does later. But at the beginning, they just don't give a shit. I'm sorry. There's no other way to say it. I hate to be that blunt, but they don't. They only care what you can do for companies in terms of an outcome. If they could get the same outcome without buying your freaking product, they would, right? They would in a heartbeat. That is true for you. That is true for me. They do not care unless it gives them the outcome that they want. Last thing, don't talk about features forever, right? Again, customers want an outcome. Features is the way you get there, but don't feature dump. We have these 97 features, right? Because it's mind-numbing. They're going to want to verify that eventually, but not at the beginning of the relationship, right? When you go on a date with somebody, you're not talking about how many kids you're going to have and how you're going to name them. That's a much later conversation. Products and features are later conversation. Up front, you're just trying to figure out, are you a match, right? Am I talking to the right kind of company that is a good fit for my kind of business? That's the things to not do in marketing your business. Now let's talk about the do's. What should you do to market your SaaS product and your SaaS business in a best practice way? There are 6 questions you want to address upfront and early in your early stage marketing. That means if you are marketing somebody in a face-to-face, in a video, in a trade show, you want to answer these 6 questions in the first 30 seconds. If you're marketing on a website, for example, you want to cover this information in the first paragraph of the content that you provide to a prospective buyer. Now, what are these very critical 6 questions? Number 1, what customer are you trying to reach? Who is the ideal customer that you are trying to serve? That's number 1. Number 2, what problem do you solve for them? This is a very practical thing, right? Right now, we're just trying to match. Am I the right kind of customer for what you offer? I just want to know that to start. Am I even in the right room? Am I in the right web page? Am I in the right trade show booth, right? So what customers you're trying to serve, what problem you solve for them. And then number 3, what proof do you have that you're really good at solving that problem for customers? For example, listing all the key marquee clients that you have that maybe your prospects have heard of before. Fortune 500 accounts, things along those lines. Number 4, you want to promise a clear benefit from buying from you and allowing your company to solve their problem, right? Are they going to increase sales 15%? Are they going to have a shorter workday? Are they going to reduce costs by 25% inside of 2 years? Whatever that promise is, have something. Number 5, you want to guarantee your results to the extent possible. Okay, we'll talk more about that with an example in a second. Number 6, this is where you might talk a little bit about your product. What you want to do in question number 6 is explain how you're able to deliver the promise that you've just made and how you can feel comfortable guaranteeing those results. This means if you are in a brand new product category, you then explain what your product does and how it works. If you are in a pre-established product category that your prospects already know and are already familiar with, then you want to focus instead on how your product is different than the existing providers in that very well-known and pre-established category. So those are the 6 questions you want to address up front and early. Who's your customer? What problem you solve for them? The proof you have that you can actually solve that problem. Number 4, a clear promise of a benefit that they're going to get by allowing you to solve that problem. Guaranteeing results in some way, shape, or form, and then describing how you can deliver results, either through your product offering or how your product is different than the existing competitors. So let me give you a quick example, shall we? So this example is for a hypothetical fictitious company that does not actually exist, okay? But you listen to the structure of the marketing, and this can be conveyed on a website, it can be conveyed in a webinar, in a YouTube video, whatever medium that you want to particularly use. We work with owners of lawn maintenance companies with between $500,000 and $2.5 million in annual revenue. The problem we solve for them is we automate the very tedious process of billing customers and ensuring they actually pay and collecting those monies. When our customers work with us, they shift from a 40-hour work week to a 35-hour work week, with on average saving 5 hours a week with our particular solution. And we are so good at what we do that we guarantee that you will save 5 hours per week after working with us, or we will pay you a $10,000 penalty if we fail to deliver, and refund your money, and pay to transition you to one of our competitors. That's how good we are. And that's why 35% of businesses between $500,000 and $2.5 million in sales in this particular city area are using our software today to automate their billing and collections. Here's how it works. We use artificial intelligence and digital payment technology automation to simplify and automate the entire process. All you have to do is bill your customers like you normally do, but through our software for 60 days in a very manual way. Our system will learn everything that you do, will send it to you for approval, and then the rest of it will be automated for the entirety of your career. So from 60 days after you use our solution, you will work 5 hours less a week, guaranteed, or we pay you $10,000 and refund your money and pay to transition you to one of our competitors. That's the problem that we solve and who we do it for. Okay, that's an example of really good marketing, okay? Now, this implies a lot of things you got to do operationally, from a product efficacy, customer success, making sure you really deliver, the technology works. It implies an entire business that has to be built around this really good marketing, right? So marketing is the promise that gets customers in the door, that gets them to say yes, but you can only promise things that you know with very high certainty you can deliver. So that's the best practice standard to strive for. And if you can't get it on day one, that's okay. Get as close as you possibly can using this structure and using these key principles. I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like more videos on how to run your SaaS business more effectively, be sure to subscribe and follow my channel. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them for you. Thanks and have a great day.